Welcome to the Den of Tools.
Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the old Den of Tools. And today we're talking generators. What kind of generators? We're new Harbor Freight generators. Matter of fact, we got 5, count them, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 new Jennies coming from Harbor Freight. Lots of great features, lots of great stuff on them. But one of the things they all have is they all meet the new carbon monoxide standards that came from Pigma. It's the Portable Generator Manufacturers Association. It's an industry group that basically helps all these manufacturers get together, keeps them safe. If they regulate themselves, then the government doesn't have to, right? So anyway, this is their new push is that carbon monoxide kills, and all these generators are going to have carbon monoxide sensors and all that stuff. The other thing they want to let you know is that you got to be safe when using these things, okay? Don't run them in your house. Don't run them in the basement or the crawl space. Don't even run them in the garage, right? Carbon monoxide rises. Even if you run it out just next to the house, it can run up into the soffit, all right? I've seen people, they lower the garage door so it's like near where the generator is, like, oh, it'll be fine, it'll blow out. No, that's not the way these physics work. It rises up and then it gets sucked in because of the house, the HVAC system, and then it's everywhere in the house. And you're gonna leave these things off and running for hours and hours and hours, if not days, during an emergency. You gotta have, first of all, you gotta have CO detectors, and you gotta be safe and smart with how you do it. Anyway, enough preaching from the bear. Let's get into these new Jennies. First up, we got the Predator Super Quiet. Now, this is the one thing I want to call out. So most of these are going to be generators, or not generators. Most of them are going to be generators, but most of them are going to be inverter generators. We got 5 of them. 4 are inverters. 1 isn't. Of those, the ones where they have the full plastic wrap body, these are called the Super Quiet. So not only is it an inverter where it can sit there and it can, it can measure how much power is needed and adjust to that power, and it runs quieter anyway. But because of the full cage or full enclosure system, it's going to be super quiet. Now, regular inverter is going to be more quiet than a standard one, but not as quiet as a fully enclosed one, okay? Just to get that out there. So what we're looking at here is a 1400 max starting watt, 1100 running watts. Now, that's not 1400 when it starts. That's 1400. It could take a surge basically up to that. So when you have an appliance, quite often you turn it on and it sucks a bunch of power right away, and then it gets into its groove and it just runs nice and steady. So you got to look at what the starting watts on an electrical appliance is and what its running watts are. So it's 1400 starting, 1100 running. And it's the super quiet generator here. It's quieter, only 60 dB, all right? As quiet as a normal conversation. This thing is nice and quiet. More efficient, it has the ESC mode. I don't know why I got the escape mode. What, I'm looking at my keyboard here. I think on other generators, they call this like the eco mode. It's where you turn it on and it basically, it sips fuel as much as possible, trying to get the fuel to last longer and also make it quieter. Longer running, over 7 hours of runtime. That's per tank. So if you fill this thing up and it's running on its average use, not full use, but average use, whatever they say the average is, you're going to get 7 hours of runtime at it. Safe power. Now, because it's an inverter, it has pure sine, well, not all of them, but this one does, has pure sine wave technology designed for sensitive USB and AC powered electronics. They're targeting this one at recreational, tailgating, and emergency. As I say, ultra lightweight, only 33 pounds. Now, the reason I was able to get these images from Harbor Freight is basically I held them hostage. I let them know that the old deep freights had come through and gotten us some information. So I got some pics right from the old the cards going on the shelf. So here's what we can tell from that. Let me read through these for you real quick. So it says the bullet points here say much quieter than other generators, safe power for sensitive electronics, electronic speed control for fuel efficiency, ultra lightweight, USB outlets, ideal for camping and tailgating, and we also get the information as to outlets. This will have 2 120s at 20 amps, a 12 volt DC, and 2 5 volt USB. Now, I got some other information on this, and that is that this will have, it's kind of hard to see there, but it's got parallel ports on it. And the idea is that at some point in the future, you will be able to connect 2 of these together using one of their parallel setups. That's the kind of thing they have like this for their other, for the 2000 generator that's out there already. What this allows you to do is little interfaces on the front. There's no wiring. I know some people see the wires on this and they get a little freaked out. No, there's ports right for it, plugs right in. You do need a screwdriver, I think, for the ground, but hey, it's super easy. It's right on the front. You just connect it just like this. Let me see if I can zoom in here. Now, I think it's going to require a different model. Yeah, I don't think you'll be able to use this connector here to do the parallels on it. But basically, it's going to set up just like that, and that's going to allow you to run two of these together. Now, what's the benefit of that? Well, honestly, there's not a huge benefit in, like, there's nothing beyond, how do I say this? The sum is not greater than the parts. You're going to put two of these together, and you're going to get 1,200 running watts out of it. But what that allows you to do is to have flexibility, okay? Say you don't have much cash right now and you want to get one of these, and down the road you think you might need more. Well, this is going to give you some expandability. Say eventually you do have two of them and you only need to take one. You don't have to lug a giant, 2,200 running watt generator with you. You can just take the one that you need. You want to go and take one out to the barn or something, go fishing or something, you only need one of these things, then just take one. That's a great option right there. Also, say you're an RVer, all right, you got a smaller camper, you may not have room for a big giant generator, but I bet you can find cubby spots that'll fit two of these. You got to think about it, think, outside the box, or in this case, inside the box, and figure out how that's going to work for you. So now just thinking about this, trying to figure out where this is going to be good for. Of course, they talked about recreation, they talked about tailgate, of course, emergency kind of stuff. I also think that small businesses, people who do like food kind of stuff, like food trucks, or even if you do like some of those fairs and stuff like that, trying to get power to some of those booths, the outdoor booths, because that stuff, farmers markets and stuff like that, that's going to be coming back. And having something like this that runs nice and quiet, that's going to be something that I think will be really useful, especially the ability to connect two of them. So as your tent grows or your sales grow, whatever. Anyway, just trying to, come up with some concepts that you might use this for. All right. Then we got the Predator 1800. Now this thing is starting at max 1800, running at 1400. And it's listed as powerful and efficient 98cc Predator engine. Hey, yeah, you could take it out, put it in your go-kart. Not suggesting you do, but hey, you could do it. Weighs only 60 pounds to maximize portability. Integrated fuel gauge makes monitoring fuel levels easy. Outlet covers protect from various elements and rugged conditions. Circuit breaker protects helps prevent accidental overload. Low oil indicator and shutdown. And integrated voltmeter makes it easier to monitor your output. That's really nice, being able to see how much power you're actually using. This thing says it has over 9 hours of runtime. Of course, all of these, as I said before, have the CO secure feature on it, so it's going to keep you safe, keep you and your family safe. They're showing this as camping, RVing, and of course emergencies. And yes, of course, our agent Deep Freight did of course come through for us on this one, and we got some. They talked about the voltmeter, the fuel level gauge, the low oil, lightweight, but also tells us about the outlets on the front. We got two 120s at 20 amps and a 12 volt DC. Now, believe it or not, this is actually going to be less expensive than the one I just showed you. In fact, I think this is going to be the new budget one here. And I'm going to show you all the prices and everything and how this all matches in with everything at the towards the end of the video here. So next up, we got the 4400 max starting watt, 3500 running watt open frame inverter. So this is an inverter, but it's not the super quiet one. I know it looks like the standard cage one. This is kind of the in-betweener, if you will, between the standard cage style. They're nice and loud, and we know about, and the super quiet, fully boxed in one. So this is your half and half kind of thing. This one is going to run at 67 decibels. That's insane. More efficient. Of course, it has the ESC mode. Saves fuel, extends engine life, longer running time, over 16 hours on one tank. Safe power because it's got the inverter in there. We got the pure sine wave technology, of course, for your electronics and to keep all that safe. They're looking at job sites, RVs, and emergency. That's what they're saying this is good for. RV adapter included. That's a nice little bonus. You gotta like that. My family, we've done a lot of RVing. We had a Class A. We've done some tent camping. Thinking about getting a trailer or a fifth wheel. Right now we're looking at a trailer. I'd really like to get a fifth wheel. They're better for towing. So I've been looking at a lot of these generators, and something like this, this is a nice basic one, probably for a smaller setup kind of stuff. A small job site, small home backup, it's good for that also. And you can run this is big enough you can run most single AC units on it, okay? Not all of them. You got one of those giant fifth wheels with that huge hurricane blowing ice cold thing. Nah, maybe not. But some of your smaller RVs, again, make sure you look at what the max starting watt is, because when that AC kicks in, boy, it draws some watts. So make sure it can handle that. Now let's see if we got a thing here from the old Deep Freight, yes, he got us the info right here. Let's see what it says. Safe power for electronics, electronic speed control, heavy duty steel frame, USB outlets for power smart devices, GFCI outlets for job site RVs and more. We got 4 120 20 amps, a 120 30 amp twist lock, that's for your RV there, and 2 5-volt USBs. Nice flexibility on this. Good power. This is going to be probably the new king of campsites. I'm expecting to see this all over the place at campsites. Good power on this. Quiet, 65 dB, because that's one thing like campsites don't like, is they don't like those loud generators. This is going to keep you friends with your neighbors and give you the power you need. Also, my understanding is that this will take a wheel unit. They'll have a wheel unit for wheel and handle kind of thing. One of those combinations. All right, let's see what we got up next. All right, check this baby out. 8750 max starting, 7,000 running. We got another open frame generator, inverter generator, of course. And we're looking at quieter, 75 dB on this. More efficient with that ESC mode. Extends fuel and saves life and everything. Saves life, whatever. Saves the engine life. Longer running, over 15 hours of runtime. Whew, on one tank. And safe power sine wave. Of course, they're looking at this as a job site, larger homes, emergency, 25% lighter as compared to the Predator 9,000 watt traditional generator. I have that generator. That sucker's heavy. That thing is a beast. I may try and see if I can sell that one to a buddy of mine and grab one of these. I don't know though, because we got one more after this. But anyway, let's talk about this one. Again, this is going to be for your larger home backups. The wheels are included on this. That's a nice little option there. And you could run a larger RV. This has got, I don't have the list here, but my understanding is Deep Freight missed one, sorry. But it does have a 220 volt outlet, which is nice. As I said, this is the whole home solution kind of thing right here. But we got one more on the list for you, and this one's going to blow your hair back. Check this out. We got the Predator 9500, 7600 running, super quiet. This is the big boy here. This thing will do it all. Yes, but it does have one drawback, okay? Quieter, 67 dB. Can you imagine 9500 max starting at 67 dB? More efficient, has the ESC mode. It has the longer 18 hours. 18 hours on one tank of gas. This is the kind of thing you get a blackout at night. You can just start it up, go to sleep. You're gonna be safe. The house is gonna stay warm. All that good stuff. Safe power, pure sine wave, of course. They're saying home, emergency, job site, all that kind of stuff. Now, why, who's going to want this for a job site? Well, here's what I'm going to say. For the guys doing new construction or rebuilds and stuff, there's nobody in the house. Who cares, right? But let's say you're doing some building for somebody where there's people nearby, there's neighbors, there's no power to the site, or you're doing it out back, maybe putting it in a garage or something like that, and it's harder to get power. This is the kind of thing where you can keep the sound down and still get the power that you need. I mean, think about it. 18 hours, you got a lot of run time, less, sending the apprentices back there to fill up the tank, more time, for them to be on their cell phones, ignoring their work. Anyway, I joke, I kid, the bear kids. Anyway, electric start with battery included, wheels and handles included, OSHA GFC compliant, and yes, of course, we do have some, let me see here. I know we got pics on this one. There we go. We got the full data on this. And let me see if I can read this here for you. All right, as it says, much quieter, safe power, electric speed control, electric start, flat-free wheels, and foldable handle, built-in, comes with it. GFCI outlets, as we talked about. The outlets are 4 120s at 20 amp, 120 volt, 30 amp, twist lock, which is nice. It does have a 120 and a 240 volt, 30 amp twist lock. That's cool because my source at Harbor Freight was not sure about that. And honestly, I thought that this wouldn't have that, but it does. It does have the 240 30 amp twist lock. That's awesome. 12 volt, 8 amp DC, and 2 5 volt USBs, because you got to get your phone chargers in there as well. What won't this thing do? It does it all. This is a one and done solution, but it's not going to be a cheap one. All right, it's going to be a little bit pricey, but not when you compare it against, say, the competition and stuff like that. As I said, these may be showing up in stores now. Our agent Deep Freight got these from the store, so this is in a store. I won't say which store. It's not on shelves as far as I know. I think it's still in the back room, but these are showing up in stores. As you can see there, this is a nice setup. We got these boxes showing up right now. But let's talk more about what we can come to expect with some of these. In fact, let's talk about where we've been with the generators over at Harbor Freight. So this is currently right now the generators that are selling at Harbor Freight. And they've got everything from the little tailgater up to that full super quiet there for $850. And here's how this is going to fit in now with the new ones. We already knew the tailgater was going away, and I am not surprised in the least bit to see the 8750 going away, considering there was a 9000 already. I got to tell you, when I went to buy my generator, I was a little I thought it was weird. I was a little confused. Why is there an 8750 and a 9000? Why is there a 4000 and a 4375? Well, this is what's going on. Apparently they came out, they wanted to do some overlap because they were afraid that they would run into a situation where they didn't have any in stock. So I think they're clearing out the last of these generators now. So the 8750 is going away. The tailgater's already gone away from most stores. And I believe the 4000 is going away as well. Now, the good news there is keep your eye out on those. And maybe if one of those shows up in the old clearance section, you may get a real deal on it. But that said, let's talk about the new generators going forward. We got the 1800 watt generator. That's the non-inverter. That's the new base level one. That's going to be $280, all right? Then we got the 1400 watt super quiet one for $430. That 4400 watt inverter, that kind of Goldilocks zone in the middle, that one's going to be $590. And then you got the two big boys, the full house ones, the 8750 watt inverter there for $1,200. And if you want all the watts and you want super quiet and you want everything, the whole ball of wax, one and done, you're looking at $2,000. Now, of course, these aren't sale prices, so don't come to me and ask what the sale prices are. I don't know. I got you this, all right? Just be happy for what we got, right? How about this? I got one thing more for you that the Freights doesn't even know that I have, and that is this little puppy right here, the Jackery. This is coming out. It's going to be on store shelves here shortly. This is your battery in the box kind of solution. We've seen a lot of these. Some people call them solar generators because you can take it to a campsite, and the idea is you use it at night when you need power, and then during the day when you're off hiking or fishing or whatnot, you leave it back at the campsite with a solar panel going, charging it back up. You can power, some of them are strong enough to power CPAP. Not sure about this one, but it says it's pure sine wave, 110 volts, 200 watts. Then you got two USB ports, and then the input, there's a little flashlight built onto it. You got a nice little display there. Now, I'll say this. I've seen this sold at other places. I'm kind of surprised to see them going this route, but I'm really happy to see them at least addressing the battery generator solution, if you will. Anyway, there you go. That's your new batteries. That's your new generators that's coming out to Harbor Freight. I said 5 of them, filling 5 new slots. I'm pretty excited about some of them. I don't know about you. Let me know down there in the comments what you think about these new generators. Is there one there that fits your bill? Did they miss out on one that you're looking for? Let me know. While you're down there, don't forget to chomp the old like button, hit the subscribe, ring that bell. Anyway, that's all the bear has for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.